For centuries, a hidden force has shaped the world you live in, controlling what you believe, what you fear, and what you think is possible. They don't want you to question it. They don't want you to wake up. Because if you did, you would realize the most dangerous truth of all. You were never powerless. The same force that moves the universe moves through you. The same energy that creates worlds responds to your thoughts, your emotions, your intent. And the moment you understand this, nothing will ever be the same again. Have you ever felt like something in your life doesn't quite add up? Like there's an invisible force shaping your reality. When you can't quite put your finger on, you follow the rules, work hard, and do what you've been told is right. Yet, the world around you seems off, unfair, rigged. You see people who seem to have everything effortlessly handed to them, while others, maybe even you, struggle endlessly, searching for a breakthrough that never comes. Is it luck? Fate? Or is there something else at play? There's a reason you're asking these questions. A reason why, deep down, you feel that life isn't just happening, it's being orchestrated. And if that's true, then the next question is even more unsettling. Who is pulling the strings? Since the moment you were born, a script has been placed in front of you. You were taught what to believe, how to think, and what is or isn't possible. But what if that script wasn't designed for your benefit? What if it was created to keep you in place, to stop you from ever realizing the power you truly hold? They don't want you to ask these questions, because if you do, everything starts to unravel. And once you see the truth, there's no going back. Not everything is as it seems. The world you live in, the systems, the beliefs, the very fabric of what you call reality has been carefully designed. Not by accident, not by nature, but by those who understand something you were never meant to know. There is a group that operates beyond governments, beyond laws, beyond the illusion of democracy. They don't play by the same rules as you do, because they wrote the rules. And more importantly, they know how to break them. They move in the shadows, pulling the strings of power with precision. Their influence stretches across industries, politics, finance, and media. They decide what you see, what you hear, what you believe is true. They shape history, not as it happens, but as they want it to be remembered. They don't need to control everyone. They only need to control what people think. You felt their presence without even realizing it. The news that directs your emotions. The crisis that conveniently shifts public attention. The way society keeps you too busy, too tired, too distracted to ever question what's really going on. But here's the truth. They are not gods. They are not invincible. They simply know something you don't. And that knowledge is the key to everything. Everything you know, everything you were taught to believe about life, power, and even your own existence was carefully crafted, not to set you free, but to keep you contained. From the moment you were born, a version of reality was handed to you. A system that tells you what is possible and what isn't. A framework that dictates what you should strive for, what you should fear, and what you should never question. They built this system to make sure you never see beyond it. Schools teach obedience, not independent thought. Religions preach devotion, not empowerment. The economy keeps you working just hard enough to survive, but never enough to break free. And the media? It feeds you carefully selected narratives, keeping your attention focused on everything except the truth. But the truth was never lost. It was buried, hidden beneath distractions, misinformation, and a constant cycle of fear and desire. You were never meant to break free from this system. You were meant to believe in it, to accept it as reality. But what happens when you start to see the cracks? When you realize that the limits placed around you aren't real, but designed? That's when everything changes. There is something you were never supposed to know. A truth so powerful that it had to be buried under centuries of deception. It is not hidden in ancient texts or locked away in secret vaults. It has been in front of you all along, disguised as something ordinary. They told you that power exists outside of you, that it belongs to governments, institutions, religious figures, that you must seek it, pray for it, earn it. But that was the greatest lie ever told, because the power they hoard, the force they manipulate, the energy that shapes reality itself, it's not theirs. It's yours. God is not an external force, watching from a distance. God is not something you must beg for favor or fear for punishment. The true divine presence is within you. The same energy that creates worlds flows through every thought you have, every emotion you feel. This is what they never wanted you to understand. Because the moment you stop looking outside yourself for power, the moment you realize you are the creator of your own reality, the entire system they built collapses. And they are terrified of that day coming. Everything in existence follows a pattern, an unseen code that determines what becomes reality and what fades into nothing. The powerful know this. They have studied it, mastered it, and used it to shape the world in their favor. And yet, this code is not locked away in secret societies or ancient temples. It is woven into the very fabric of your being. Every thought you have carries a frequency. Every emotion sends out a vibration. These energies do not disappear. They ripple outward, colliding with the unseen forces that shape reality itself. What you focus on expands. What you believe becomes. This is why fear is constantly fed to you. Why the system ensures that your mind is occupied with doubt, struggle, and distraction. Because if your energy is spent reacting to what they create, you will never create for yourself. But here's the truth they never taught you. Your mind is the architect, and your emotions are the fuel. When thought and feeling align with certainty, the universe responds. Not by chance, not by luck, but by design. Those at the top do not wish for wealth or power. They expect it. They feel it as if it already exists. And by doing so, they bend reality to match their intention. You were born with the same ability. You were just never told how to use it. There is a reason most people never tap into their true power. It's not because they lack intelligence. It's not because they aren't worthy. It's because they have been conditioned not to believe in themselves. Fear is the most powerful weapon ever created. It doesn't need chains, walls, or prisons. It only needs a thought, planted deep enough in your mind that you accept it as truth. You've been told to fear failure, to fear rejection, to fear stepping outside the lines of what is acceptable. But more than anything, you've been taught to fear your own power. Because the moment you recognize that you are not small, that you are not weak, that the limits you see are illusions, the entire structure of control begins to crumble. This is why negativity is constantly fed to you. The news floods your mind with chaos. Society programs you to doubt yourself. Every system in place ensures that you remain too afraid to step beyond the mental barriers they created. But here's what they don't tell you. Fear is not real. It is nothing more than a projection of limitation, a script designed to keep you from testing the edges of your potential. And those who break free from it, they don't just change their own lives. They change the world. The ones who shape reality do not chase. They do not beg, they do not plead, and they do not hope. They decide, and then they let go. This is the paradox that keeps most people trapped. You were taught that success, happiness, and abundance come from relentless effort, from pushing harder, from gripping so tightly that you force things to happen. But those who truly understand the nature of reality know that control is an illusion. The more desperately you cling to something, the more resistance you create. When you fixate on the outcome, on the how and the when, you are telling the universe that you do not trust its flow. That desperation, it sends a signal, a frequency of lack. And what does the universe respond to? Your energy. This is why the elite do not operate from a place of need. They expect. They move with certainty. They set their intentions, align with them emotionally, and then they release. Not because they don't care, but because they understand the law that governs all creation. When you detach, you align. When you trust, you receive. Control is not about forcing reality. It is about becoming the kind of person who attracts what they desire, without resistance. The moment you master this, everything changes. There is a shift that happens when a person steps beyond the limits imposed on them. A breaking point where the mind no longer accepts old patterns, where the soul refuses to be confined by illusion. This is the moment of ascension. Those who hold power have known this for centuries. They do not rely on luck. They do not leave their fate to chance. They follow a process, a ritual that aligns them with creation itself. This ritual is not magic. It is not superstition. It is the deliberate practice of mastering thought, emotion, and energy to command reality. It begins with clarity, a vision so sharp that doubt has no room to exist. Then comes alignment, the practice of feeling, speaking, and acting as if the desired reality is already set in motion. But the final step? The one that separates the few from the many? Faith in the unseen. Because before something manifests in the physical world, it exists as energy. Those who ascend understand that belief is the bridge between thought and reality. They do not wait for proof. They become the proof. This is the path that has been hidden from you, not because it is complicated, but because it is powerful. And power, in the wrong hands, is dangerous to them. There comes a moment when everything shifts, when the world no longer looks the same, not because it has changed, but because you have. The lies, the illusions, the carefully crafted deceptions, they no longer hold power over you. The fear that once kept you in place now feels distant, almost laughable. The limits you once believed in? Gone. This is what they fear the most. Not rebellion, not resistance, awakening. Because a mind that has awakened to its own power can no longer be controlled. A person who understands that they are the creator of their reality can no longer be manipulated. You begin to see the patterns, the way fear is fed to the masses, the way distractions are designed to keep people too occupied to question anything deeper. You see how the system is built not to empower, but to extract, not to free, but to contain. And yet, there is no anger, no resentment, only understanding. Because once you step into this new state of consciousness, you realize you were never truly trapped. The door was always open. You just had to walk through it. There is no more searching, no more waiting, no more looking outside yourself for answers that were never meant to be found out there. Because the truth is, and always has been, within you. You are not a follower, not a pawn in someone else's game, not a soul lost in the vastness of existence, hoping for something greater to save you. You are the force you've been searching for. The world has conditioned you to believe that power belongs to the few, that creation is something that happens to you, not through you. But those who hold power have always known the truth. Reality bends to those who know they are the creators. There is no permission to ask for, no authority to seek approval from. The energy that forms galaxies, that breathes life into existence, that shapes the unseen into the tangible, it moves through you. This is the secret they never wanted you to uncover. Because the day you stop seeing yourself as separate from creation is the day you reclaim it. And now, that day has come. For too long, a powerful secret has been hidden, used only by ancient royalty and today's elite to attract unlimited abundance. Now, for the first time, this lost frequency has been decoded and made available to you. Activate your abundance switch. Tap into the manifestation power of the ancients. Watch money flow effortlessly into your life. But there's a catch. This knowledge has been suppressed for centuries. Will you break free or stay in the cycle? Click below now and unlock the secret before it's buried again.